Welcome to our channel, History for You. Today, we are going to delve into one of the most critical moments of 20th century, the Cuban Missile Crisis. In this episode, we explore the fascinating and nerve-wracking dilemma faced by President John F. Kennedy during this period of history. Let's go back to the early 1960s. The Cold War was in full swing, and the US and USSR were engaged in a geopolitical and ideological struggle. In October 1962, the world stood on the precipice of a nuclear war, and the US and USSR engaged to a high-stake confrontation known as a Cuban Missile Crisis. This is the story of an event that brought humanity closer to the edge of than ever before. The crisis began when the US discovered the audacious move of Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev to install nuclear-armed missiles in Cuba, just 90 miles away from American shores. These missiles had the capability to strike major US cities, putting the entire nation at risk. In July 1962, the US learned of Soviet missile shipment to Cuba, setting off alarm bell in Washington. By October 14, a U-2 spy plane confirmed the presence of ballistic missile on Cuba soil. Faced with the impending threat, President JFK weighed his options. He had to make series of incredibly challenging decisions with limited time and high stakes. Would it be an invasion, airstrike, or a proper blockade, or diplomatic maneuvers? He had to protect American security and prevent a potential nuclear catastrophe. On the other hand, he needed to avoid triggering a full-scale nuclear war with Soviet Union. President Kennedy had several options, each with its own risk and consequences. He could have launched an airstrike on missile site in Cuba, but that would likely have led to a nuclear retaliation. He could have imposed a naval blockade around Cuba, a move that could be seen as an act of war, or he could engage in diplomatic negotiation with Soviet Union. A world-changing decision lay in the balance. On October 22, Kennedy announced a naval blockade or quarantine to prevent further missile deliveries to Cuba. He made it clear that US would intercept any offensive weapon being shipped to the island. Simultaneously, Kennedy initiated back-channel communication with Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev. Over the next few days, the world held its breath as Kennedy and Khrushchev exchanged messages. Diplomacy teetered on the brink, and world stood on the edge of nuclear war. On October 20th, Khrushchev made a historic concession, agreeing to halt work on missile site and return the missile to Soviet Union. In return, the US pledged never to invade Cuba and secretly promised to withdraw missiles from Turkey. The world had narrowly averted a nuclear catastrophe. The Cuban Missile Crisis had significant consequences. It marked a turning point in Cold War, as both superpowers recognized the danger of nuclear brinkmanship. It also led to the establishment of hotline communication system between US and Soviet Union to prevent such crises in future. The Cuban Missile Crisis marked a turning point in US-Soviet relations. Contributing to Khrushchev's fall from power, it also left a lasting impact on global politics, underscoring the need of nuclear restraint. The Cuban Missile Crisis remains a haunting reminder of perilous brinkmanship that defined the Cold War era. If you found this video informative and engaging, please hit the like button, share it with your friend and subscribe to our channel for more interviewing historical insight. Also, let us know in comment if there are any other historical event or figures you would like to explore in future videos. Thank you for watching and we will see you in next episode.